second summer with the program, Jazz. How was the summer like for you, and what do you feel like you grew?
I think we've all grown in the leadership aspect. We lost a lot of experience losing our 5 seniors. So starting from week 1 to week 8, I think all of us are finding our voices and being more vocal and more enforcing kind of the culture we have, especially with a lot of new people coming in. So just seeing that growth from week 1 to week 8 is really good.
How are you feeling? Like, we knew you were dealing with the leg at the end of last season. How's the recovery been from that and just getting back to normal?
It's almost, I think I'm pretty healed from going right now. I think to start summer is really slow, kind of working my way back up into things because I wasn't working out much in the kind of postseason part of it. So just doing my recovery. We have Autumn, so she's always there. So I think I'm in a pretty good spot right now with my hamstring. So.
I mean, looking back, how did you get through that? Because clearly was probably not very fun.
Yeah, I think about it all the time because now I feel pain. I'm like, whoa. But I don't know how. I think it's just a mindset. I wanted to win and just play, and we were short on numbers. So it's kind of like, what kind of sacrifices am I going to make? And it's like, okay, I can do it. But, like, I don't know. I just, just kind of mentally, toughly just pushed through it and did it. And it got us to a place where we wanted to be. And I'm glad that I stayed with it and, had my teammates back. And I want to do it for the seniors and my coach, and I did, so.
How have you sensed the team meshing this far into your new season? And what have you sensed maybe that's carried over from last year?
I think our culture has carried over from last year. Kind of doing things one way, like that hasn't changed at all. One thing I do love about this team though is that we do have fun and like we bond a lot. We're really close, and I think that comes with all of us being younger too, and we all wanting to get to know each other and being intentional in that aspect of it. So I think that's going to translate onto the court too.
You spoke about growth earlier, but just maybe what were the biggest growth points you've seen as a team this summer that you feel like can carry over into the fall and then into the season?
I personally think, what's a good area? Maybe patience. I think when we first started, everything was like so hectic. Like I think a lot of people were kind of nervous. Nerves were there, and confidence for some was kind of like, oh, I don't know if I should do this. I don't know if I should do this, which I understand because I was in that position last year. But I think kind of now, like no one cares. Like we just go out there and play and have fun. And then another thing I love is how we pick each other up. Like if we're down, I think we're very intentional. Like okay, let's go. Like we got the next possession, and our new guys like just mold into that. So I don't know. I think us from last year are doing a really good job of carrying over what we've learned and bringing it here now so that everyone else kind of follows that and picks up on that.
What did you see from Haven this summer?
Haven. So last year she was more of like our energy person, always giving energy, and even this summer she's done that, but she's also added her voice, like giving constructive feedback and all that kind of stuff. And then her in the post, like I just seen her step up in ways that she kind of didn't get to show last year. So I'm very proud of her and her production. So
when it comes to defense, have you always been somebody that, like growing up playing basketball, like it excited you, the opportunity to lock down the other team's best player?
Yeah, I think when I first started, I sucked. So the only thing I could like rely on was my defense. Like, I don't have to dribble, I don't have to shoot, I don't have to do anything, but just get the ball and pass it to somebody. So I think that's just kind of how it is, and I kind of stuck with that because it's like if you have a bad offensive game, you can rely on something that's in your controllable, like just guarding the ball. So I don't know, I just carried that over into college, and now here, like it's even on a bigger scale. Like you play high caliber people, and it's like it's a pride thing too, ego, whatever you want to call it. So I don't know, I just take pride in it. So.
For you specifically, just the different roles you had to play last season, even at point guard and just how much does that maybe let you grow as a player, and do you feel like prepared you for what you might see moving forward?
I think for right now, I'm really blessed that I was able to have some of those opportunities last season because it carries on into this season knowing we have 2 younger point guards, and if I need to play point guard, I can, and I'm more comfortable playing it. I think I've done a really good job in that area, and then I know I can play my own position too, so I think it's just really good because I can also help the point guards too. If they come ask me questions all the time, and I just answer and give them feedback. So I don't know. I think what I went through last year is very helpful for the insight I can give on the court today.
I know Dal has been around a little bit this summer, and she was obviously kind of that top defender last year. How much do you kind of relish the idea of taking that mantle from her and carrying that yourself?
Dal was someone I looked up to a lot defensively, and I mean, she was here one day and she was just like, if you want to be the best defender, be the first one, show them, how to do it. So I think just knowing what I don't know what she left here. I kind of want to like follow up with that and maybe even do better, or because she took a lot of pride in it. So it's like, why would I not take pride in it? And we need people to guard. I mean, you can't win if you don't get stopped. So I think for me, it's just following in that and taking what she taught me.
Growing up, was that kind of your way of staying on the court? Is maybe I'm not the best shooter on the team, but my defense is good enough they have to play me. And then I guess when did the other parts of your game come along?
They came along a little bit later, maybe like 8th grade, maybe 13, 14. But honestly, like, because I could play defense, I wasn't a liability on defense. I always stayed out on the court. So now it's like, okay, you're on the court all the time. So now we have to develop your offensive skills, which, came later on. But that's how I stayed on the court, just guarding. And I wish, a lot of people took that and, like, that's how you're going to be on the court. If you can guard, you can be on the court, because offensively you can find something, make something happen. But defensively, like, you have to get stops.
How did you want to grow offensively this offseason? What was important for you?
For me, it was making all the right reads and being just a little bit more aggressive. I think last year, like, I didn't really have to. I mean, we had who we had, so there was no like reason, for me to like just try and take over and do a lot of stuff. But I think this year, it's just being very intentional with like what I'm doing with the ball, making the right reads, being more aggressive. And like just leading, when I have the ball, make sure some of the calls are right, or if I'm on the sideline or corner, whatever, like talking to the point guard, like, run this, run that. But I also think Aaliyah's doing a really good job leading the team as well, because Destiny is kind of out right now. So Aaliyah, she only runs point guard. So it's kind of cool seeing her growth too, and her hearing her voice about it too, to where she can start taking over too.
How much has college basketball almost become a year-round commitment? You're here during the summer months and obviously during fall and during the spring. How much has it just become a year-round thing?
I'm sorry?
Is college basketball just mostly a year-round thing where you don't have a lot of time off, and what's that kind of like to deal with the challenge of almost a full year? You don't have very much time off.
Yeah, we don't get much time off, but I think it's also a good thing, because like we're always focused and we're locked in with each other. And we make it fun. I think you have to make it fun, because if you don't like who you're going on the court with and whatnot, it's not going to be a fun experience. So I think that also gives us time to bond with each other, get to know everyone off the court, so then you better understand why they act and behave how they do on the court, or help them on the court. I just think that's the advantage of playing a really, really long season. And you always have opportunity to grow. Like if you mess up, let's say we have a game, you mess up that game, you have the next opportunity to do something even better and, grow from that. Like it's quick turnarounds all the time. So it's never like a long delayed in between, like a football game where you have a whole week and you can't fix that mistake right away. So I kind of like it.
Sure.